Who is the best... I've started, so I'll finish. Who was the best member of U.S. pop-punk band Panic at the Disco?
Ryan Ross.
That's totally f***ing wrong. It's actually me, so...
Panic at the Disco will return in 2025 for When We're Young Fest on Saturday, October 18th, performing A Fever You Can't Sweat Out in its entirety and more. Co-headlining the festival is Blink-182, performing Enema of the State and Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. The lineup also features Weezer, Avril Lavigne, The Offspring, All Time Low, The Used, Knocked Loose, Yellow Card, Simple Plan, Taking Back Sunday, Jack's Mannequin, The Story So Far, Never Shout Never, Alexis on Fire, The Maine, The Somerset, The Cab, Boys Like Girls, Mayday Parade, and many more. In January of 2023, Brendan Urie revealed that Panic at the Disco would be discontinued in order for him to focus on his family. This will mark Panic at the Disco's first performance since then. If Ryan Ross and Jon Walker are involved with this iteration of Panic at the Disco, this would mark their first performance with Panic in over 15 years. Ryan Ross and Jon Walker first quit Panic at the Disco all the way back in July of 2009. The statement that was released announcing their departure read, "Ryan Ross and Jon Walker will be leaving Panic at the Disco to embark on a musical excursion of their own. Though the four of us have made music together in the past, we've creatively evolved in different directions, which has compromised what each of us want to personally achieve. Over the years, we have remained close and honest with each other, which helped us to realize that our goals were different and that parting ways is truly what is best for each of us. We are all excited for the future, and you should be too. Signed, Ryan and Jon." The departure of both Ryan and Jon would leave Panic at the Disco as a duo for the time being. Brendan Urie and Spencer Smith would go on to release a single called New Perspective, which was featured on the Jennifer's Body movie soundtrack. Ryan Ross and Jon Walker would go on to form the short-lived band The Young Vanes. The Young Vanes released their debut single called Change the very same day that Panic at the Disco released New Perspective. The Young Vanes would go on to release their first and only album, Take a Vacation, in 2010. Despite a lack of commercial success that Panic at the Disco saw, the album was a continuation of the sound that Panic explored on Pretty Odd, and it certainly helped that Pretty Odd's producer, Rob Mathis, returned for this album as well. While the Young Vanes have remained inactive since 2010, Jon Walker has continued to promote the record throughout the years. In 2023, a remastered edition of the album was released, which also featured new artwork. Panic at the Disco would go on to have an entire career following the departure of Ryan Ross and Jon Walker. For the two albums to follow, Vices and Virtues and Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die, the band functioned primarily as a duo between vocalist Brendan Urie and drummer Spencer Smith. Their touring bassist Dallin Weeks would become a large part of the writing process for the album Too Weird to Live. This album became a turning point for the band as it was the final record to feature drummer Spencer Smith, and the only to feature bassist Dallin Weeks as a primary songwriter and official member of the band, before being converted and marketed into a Brendan Urie solo project with a live touring band. This would go on for 3 more albums until Brendan put the project to rest in 2023. When Spencer Smith initially left Panic at the Disco, he was candid with fans, coming clean about his battle with alcohol and prescription pills. And it wasn't until April of 2015 until Spencer announced his official departure from the project. While it has not immediately been made clear just what iteration of Panic at the Disco will be performing A Fever You Can't Sweat Out at the festival, touring guitarist Mike Naran has confirmed his involvement, as well as touring drummer Dan Pawlovich. Touring bassist Nicole Rowe is also believed to be involved in the performance, based on her comments on Panic at the Disco's official announcement on Instagram. Jon Walker has commented on the Instagram post as well, but has not confirmed whether or not he will be involved. The band's founding bassist Brent Wilson also commented saying, "I did hear about the reunion and I wasn't asked, although it would be fun to play those songs again. Would participate for sure if asked." Now personally, I don't think it will be a full-fledged reunion. I do think that the exclusion of the original members from this performance would be a mistake. What do you think of the 2025 When We Were Young festival lineup? Do you think Ryan Ross and the rest of the original Panic band will be there? Do you wish that the Academy was playing as well? Let us know in the comments below.